touch the light, the heat I see in your eyes. In your eyes. In your eyes. In your eyes.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Getting Back to Me, Both Sides of the Story, episode 29.
Who would have thought we have this much to say?
True. Who would have thought that? It's Santa Anas are still blowing. I keep hoping that it's going to turn into fall. I keep announcing that it's fall, and then now we're in 90-degree weather.
That's what you get.
I know, so I'm the one who
We've
keeps
had
it.
100-degree weather at Halloween before.
Yes, we
so
have. Yes, we
You're
have.
the one who usually says that.
I am the one who reminds you that when you're usually saying.
Really, we're going to talk about the weather?
No, we don't have to.
Okay, let's get to the...
Cut to the chase.
Cut to the chase.
Okay. Well, from chapter 23, brought to you by the letter F.
F for funny, F for fun, F for female, F for... Oh, that one.
Freaking awesome. That's what F was for. Okay, so this is still part of my journey where I'm getting all the paperwork done. And as we talked about in the last chapter, the real reason why, outside of the obvious, but I thought I might have a job coming up. And it was going to take me to the Middle East to follow a rock band. It was a reality show. And my passport was my old boy name.
That would have been pretty tough.
Didn't match my...
look. Yeah.
That's right. Didn't match my birth certificate.
No.
Didn't
Right.
match my face.
Everything else was changed.
Didn't match my name. Was actually an illegal document. So...
Wouldn't go that far.
It is. It was.
Okay.
And as we said, it's a kind of a I know an old lady who swallowed a fly kind of a process. You have to have the birth certificate before you can get the driver's license, before you get the Social Security, before you can get your passport. So this is the day that I've gone to pick up my passport. I've already gone through all that rigmarole. And it's a day not unlike today. Santa Anas are blowing.
So you'd already ordered the passport.
The day before, I had to go in and order it. Today's the day I'm going to go pick it up.
Okay.
So I step up to the immigration officer, who I must say is looking smart in his crisp white shirt and gray pants, sporting a blue and yellow stripe down the leg. He looks at me from under his officer's brim and says, "Ma'am, can I help you?" I don't know if I'll ever get over being called ma'am. The joy of that is equal to the hell I feel when I'm called sir. And as I stammer to answer his question, still clinging to the waft of his acknowledgement, I show him my golden ticket and say, "Yes, sir, I have a 2 o'clock p.m. pickup." "Well, ma'am, that would be the will call windows over there." He points to 2 windows that are just like every rock concert will call windows I've ever seen. 2 windows, 1 line, ma'am. 3 ma'ams in a row. I know, right? The sheer enormity of the walkways here have me walking another 100 yards to over there. I played football for 12 years. I know what 100 yards is. It's a gorgeous day. The escalating Santa Ana winds are beginning to dry and chill the air and scour the skies of any clouds. It's just glorious April sunshine. As I take my place in the line of other passport holders, we're an elite group, don't you know, I notice the flags are at half staff. I'd been listening to NPR on the way here, and though there was the usual heaping of bad news and death, none would warrant this federal show of respect and mourning. And then it hits me. Scott James has passed on. Scottie Jeanette would be taking it from here. And even as I type this, I'm choking up. I'm not sorry to see him go, but he deserves a respectful farewell. He was a caring, warm, dedicated gentleman, leader, and artist, loving husband, big brother, oldest son, and best bud. But through God's grace, all of his best qualities will live on. His memory is more than a beautiful chapter. It's almost half of the book that's still being written. Joyful and curious, he had done well and seen us through to the threshold. Then stepped aside graciously with a courteous bow and a great big smile. Next in line.
Yeah, I think it's sad how many people do refer to making their transition as a death of who they were before, or wanting it to be even. I'm glad you didn't want to be. I think, like you said, the reason that you also kept the name Scottie was because you weren't trying to sever yourself from the person you were. So I'm glad for that, and I'm sad for the people who hated who they were forced to pretend to be, if you will, or even if it's they forced themselves. I think that's sad. But I think you also hit the nail on the head about listing the qualities, because the qualities have come across, have stayed with you, which was also part of why once I really focused on that, why I didn't have as much of a problem as seems like even other people expect I would.
Yeah, this one snuck up on me. I mean, because I've never thought of it that way. It was weird that the flags were at half staff, and then that's when it hit me. It hit me on that day, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm proud of the fact that I didn't have a hell to leave. In many respects, that's why I want to tell my story, is because I didn't have a me out there. I didn't have someone whose life was okay. I mean, you know, everything about my life except for having to pretend to be a boy was pretty awesome.
Well, there was very little. I mean, you kind of hit the critical mass of timing. Now, people will say, well, what are you talking about? Everybody's talking about transgender people, but it's only now.
Right.
That life you led up until that point, there were very few people.
And all the stories were horrifying.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Laverne Cox's story is horrifying. Janet Mock's story, Alexander Billings, you know, they all have this trail of tears, you know. I think that's why I question so much what I would do about this through my entire life. Is like, well, for what? Am I going to trade what I have for that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, do I have to do that? Why do I have to do that? Please tell me I don't have to do that. You know, that's the part that's pretty crazy. And thank you for saying that. You know, thank you for saying that the qualities that you fell in love with were still kind of there, but well, I think that's it. I want people to know that you can't wish this away, you can't love it away, you can't hope it away, you can't pray it away. It has only one solution, and that's acceptance. How you accept it is where you have your choices, but the acceptance has to be true,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to the person, you know. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about, like, you know, what changes have you seen in me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because you've said sometimes you've noticed things.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Do you mind if we pause and I can think about it a little bit so we don't just chew up thinking time right here?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Excuse us for a second.
We'll be right back after this.
Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema, girls walking in.
Okay, so that was an edit point because we got lost in a hole. So, but I think we found a way out.
Well, yeah, because I think the thing is, I know I said before that I've always just felt your essence all the way through. So maybe that's the flip side of saying I don't really have a sense of Scott anymore. So it's hard for me to say if you've changed or how you've changed. It's weird, but it would be such an effort. It's an effort for me to try to picture you even. Sometimes I have to look at pictures and go, oh yeah, I guess that was Scott. But it's kind of weird, and I really don't have words for it. It's almost like I can't remember how you were or who you were. And in some ways, I think that's a good thing.
I think it's an amazing thing. I want people to hear this from you. I want people to understand that this is how this process works.
Yeah. We were so moved by Alexandra Billings' speech when she received the Visibility Award, and I hope you all get a chance to see it.
Go watch it. We'll put a link on here.
Good. That would be great, because she's just such a bright, sharp, smart, articulate, beautiful, amazing person who's also been through a transition and been very open about it. That's why she got the Visibility Award, right? But she acknowledged her mate. They've been together 40 years and married 20.
Chris Ann.
And so she'll probably resent our saying her name too.
She apparently doesn't like to be
Acknowledged. But it's great they stayed together. And it would be interesting to hear from Chris Ann if her experience is sort of similar at all. But when you love someone, I had to really come to grips with the fact that even though I saw you as a man, was it because you were a man that I loved you? Or because I was heterosexual and so, was drawn to being partnered with men in a relationship and you fit that bill at the time? Or can that part in a way be scraped off the hurricane lamp glass? Was I really just tuning in to your flame, your true being? And you wore a costume then, and now you're in a different costume. And the difference for you may be you're more comfortable now because this is the outfit you felt you were meant to wear. You weren't playing Halloween and wishing you could take it off and be something else next year. So I think that's a big question, and I guess it is what we hope that people would home in on in their relationships is, who's the being? What do you really love? Not everyone can do it. Someone might just really feel they need a husband. But
Two things. I just want you to clarify, like costume, you don't mean clothes.
no, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. But you kind of, when you do dress up for Halloween, you take on the persona of the costume you're wearing. That's all. And you took on the persona of Scott because that was who you felt you were supposed to be, in spite how you felt deepest inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's not about. It's not that you've just changed your clothes and here you still are.
Yeah. The other thing I want to get to is when you say, some people aren't able to do it. Some people feel like they really need a husband. That's what stops, especially women, when they first hear about us, they bounce into that and they go, "Ew, I don't think I could do what Marcy did." And that's, to me, that's shocking. I mean, maybe it's just because we're on the inside of it, but for someone to say, "No, you're a role. I'm in love with the role that you are, not the person that you are." It's like, well, then I don't want to be in love with you. How shallow could that really be? And yet, 80% of trans marriages end in divorce, and that's a two-way street. But.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, if we were to believe the Danish girl, it was really the trans person who ended the relationship.
I'm sure. Yeah, I am not making excuses for trans people who do that relationship, because, frankly, there are a lot, and it's documented, who do say, "Well, they were taking the pretending. They were taking the trying to appear as the other role so far that they were even taking on a heterosexual, so to speak, identity, and that's not what they were at the beginning."
Yeah. So that's the.
But it gives us girls a bad name.
Well, okay. Either way, though, so you said taking it on. It's like, is that what a beard is, or what happens?
Well, a beard is even
gay marriage.
Yeah, beard is even more cynical because it's like not even pretending. It's only pretending.
Right.
But it's not even like, trying to even get into a relationship.
But what I've noticed lately, especially when I think about people and what happens to some relationships, is maybe there isn't that much love there in the first place. Because by the same token, people get together for a lot of different reasons. How many people have we talked to who just felt like, I felt like I was supposed to get married, and because I was that age, or my parents were pressuring me to have children, or people and trust me, having been married before too, I know how easy it is to make a case for a person that you're with, to think, oh, this is the right one, this is the person I should marry because da 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 da, and until you can really know your own heart, it's really hard to. It's not easy to tell the difference between infatuation and love.
Well, I don't know if I've ever said this out loud, because I don't usually. I certainly didn't think I wasn't premeditated in this, but I am actually really proud to be your fourth marriage, because that means that you really did
rehearse.
Yeah, you did a lot of R&D.
Right.
And then you got the love, and we're at 29 years together.
Yeah.
Almost 30.
Wow.
27 years married.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and one of my dear friends has said, "Marcy, you shouldn't feel bad that you got married so many times." She said, "I had at least as many relationships as you. I just didn't marry them all." But it also means, I think, if you look at the positive side, it means that I wanted a mate. You kind of threw me for a loop because I, figured it was going to be a husband.
Okay, but you had a husband for a long time.
100 times.
100 times.
100 times. Yeah. And I still, what's the bottom line? What do you want in a mate? What do you want in a mate? And that's there still, so. Yeah. In it for the long haul.
Yep. Well, no, that's probably a good place to start. Stop. End.
Start. Ooh, I like that.
Jungian petticoat.
But your flag isn't at half-mast anymore.
No, it's not. It's flying high.
Yay. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And
See,
may we all
live.
radiate.
That's right. Let's radiate in light, laughter, and love.
Now let's say it together.
Okay, ready?
Radiate
in
light, laughter, and love. Not in light, laughter. Let's do it one more time. You've added a word.
I did, didn't I? I know it's when I made the graphic.
I know, and it's our insignia.
One more time.
Radiate light, laughter, and love. Love you.
Love you.